Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the NBA slate on DraftKings for Monday, March 26th. I'm back after the weekend. Kind of went MIA this weekend. Didn't make any videos. Wasn't really on Twitter either. Just kind of didn't play any DFS this weekend. I've definitely been slowing down when it comes to NBA DFS. Just kind of getting ready for baseball. Haven't been playing a ton lately. I'm still playing, at least on the weekdays, but I'm not playing the same volume that I was playing earlier in the year. I believe we got 3 more days before baseball starts. We'll most likely just be doing baseball videos when baseball is here. Doubt I'll be doing NBA and MLB because that might just be too much. And I doubt I'm going to be playing both sports at the same time. But we do have 3 more days of NBA. So 3 more NBA videos coming out this week. And for today's slate, we got 5 games on this Monday. Before we do get started, guys, make sure you drop a like on the video. I would really appreciate it. And if you're new and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you click that subscribe button down below so that way you'll never miss out on any of my new videos. But we're going to start off at point guard today, and look at this position. Definitely a slate today that doesn't have a lot of top-tier studs. Nobody over 10K on the slate. Our most expensive guy is Andre Drummond at 9,700, so not really any studs to consider. Ben Simmons, Kemba are kind of our 2 stud options at point guard. I do really like Ben Simmons today. I'm going to play him at small forward, though, because small forward is usually always a weaker position than point guard. You can play Simmons at point guard, but just because of how deep point guard usually is, I'll plug in Simmons at small forward. I do like him today against Denver. It is a really good matchup. The Nuggets are not good defensively against point guards. I really like Simmons here. I like his price tag at 8,800. I'm not going to be playing Kemba over him. I'd much rather have Simmons over Kemba today, even if Batum remains out. I still think Simmons is a better play. We know the kind of upside this guy has. Triple-double upside. 50 DraftKings points definitely possible here against the Nuggets. And just with the lack of studs on the slate, I do like paying up for Ben Simmons. Definitely one of the favorite stud options of my choosing. Kemba, I guess you could go to against the Knicks, but I'd just rather have Simmons. If you want to take the discount, maybe roll with Lonzo at 7,800. You could do that, but I just think Simmons is the best play if you're paying up at point guard. Rozier is kind of too expensive for me, even though he's going up against Phoenix, and that is a great matchup. I'm just not going to pay 7,600 for Terry Rozier. Most likely not going to be looking to a lot of these mid-tier plays. Mainly going to be paying up at point guard for Ben Simmons today if I play him at this position. Or looking to a guy like Andrew Harrison. Also another value play I like is TREY. We'll talk about him in a second. But Andrew Harrison I do really like today if you're going cheap at point guard. We already know Tyreke Evans is not going to play today. So Andrew Harrison going to get a ton of usage here. Last game against the Lakers, Tyreke Evans did not play. Andrew Harrison played 37 minutes in that game, 40 DraftKings points. This is a good matchup. The Timberwolves, they do struggle defensively against the point guard. So I like Andrew Harrison here. I like his price tag at 5,200. That's a very cheap price for him, especially with no Evans on the court. I think he's one of the better cheap options on the slate if you're looking to go a little bit cheaper. Andrew Harrison at 5,200 could definitely be an option. ELFRID Payton in tournaments I think could be a really good play today. I kind of skipped over him, but he is coming off a nice game against the Magic. That was a revenge game for Payton, and he did finally see his minutes increase. Played 34 minutes in that game, 39 DraftKings points. We don't really know if this trend is going to continue, if Payton's going to continue to play 30 or more minutes. But we know the kind of upside that he has when he does get the minutes. Boston's still injury depleted, with Kyrie still out, with Marcus Smart still out. Their defense isn't going to be as good. It's still solid. Rozier's still a solid defender. Jaylen Brown is back, and he's a good defender as well. But you could definitely play ELFRID Payton in a tournament. Very risky play, but if he gets the minutes, guy has a lot of upside. We all know that. But speaking of the other value play I like here, BURKE at 4,800. I think it's a really good value option. We did see BURKE start on Sunday. The Knicks, they did play on Sunday. They're playing again today. They are on a back-to-back. I'm recording this video about as that Knicks game's going on. Burke's off to a really good start. I think we're going to continue to see him put up big games. As long as he remains in the starting lineup, he's going to play at least 26, 27, 28 minutes. Definitely could play 30 or more. I believe last game against Minnesota, at least the last game that's in the game log, he didn't start in that game. He did come off the bench and kind of just outplayed Moutier. Put up 34 DraftKings points in 31 minutes. Like I said, he started over Moutier Sunday. I think we're going to see him start over Moutier again today. And against Charlotte, I do like BURKE here at 4,800. If you're looking to go cheap, definitely think he's a good option at point guard for value. But that's what I like for the value. So let's go ahead and move on to shooting guard. A lot of options here I've kind of already talked about, so we'll skip over those. Look for guys I haven't mentioned. Devin Booker's a stud option here at 7,500 against Boston. Just at Booker's price, I think he is an intriguing play today if he does play. But Booker's been out a while. We might see him get a minutes restriction here if he does return for this game against Boston. It definitely is not a cupcake matchup, but just at that price, you could pay up for Devin Booker if you want to go there. Will Barton, you could play at 7,100 as long as Gary Harris remains out. Barton's been having solid games lately. You could go to him, but definitely not a guy I'm looking to jam in. If Warren and Booker both remain out again, Josh Jackson could be a really good play if TJ Warren and Booker remain out. Jackson's been playing really well with both of those guys out lately, been playing big minutes. Last game against the Magic, he played 40 minutes, 33 DraftKings points. He is priced up 6,700, and it definitely is not the greatest matchup. But Jackson's just going to get so much usage if both of those guys are out. So you could play him if you're going there, 6,700 against Boston. And then looking for the value at shooting guard, not a lot I really like here besides the guys I've kind of already talked about, like Andrew Harrison and Trey Burke. I believe both guys you can play at shooting guard if you want to go to them. So I think that's it for this position. Let's go ahead and move on to small forward. Another position where we got a lot of guys I've kind of already talked about. So looking for plays, I haven't mentioned Kyle Kuzma, not very interested in today. 6,900, you could go there, but at 6,900, I think there are other guys I'd rather have. I think I'd actually prefer Josh Jackson for a little bit cheaper, especially if Booker and Warren are unable to go today. But Kuzma is coming off a nice game against Memphis where he put up 48 DraftKings points in 41 minutes. We're going to see Kuzma play big minutes pretty much every night. Just with it being a 5-game slate, obviously you could go to Kuzma today just because of limited options, not a lot to choose from. But a guy like Jackson for just 200 less, like I said, I think I would prefer. Marcus Morris could definitely be a good play here against Phoenix in tournaments. We already know that he got ruled out for Sunday, but he is expected to play today. It's a revenge game. Marcus Morris, he hates this Phoenix team. He's always done well against them when he's played against them. Even though Morris is priced up, the guy has big upside. We know this. We know he's going to take shots when he's on the court. In a revenge game against a team he doesn't really like, you could play Marcus Morris at 6,400 if you're looking to go there. Jeremy Lamb, I've been on a lot lately with Batum out, but at 6,100, I don't know how great of a play he is at that price. It is a great matchup against the Knicks. If Batum remains out, I guess you could go to Lamb at 6,100, but again, with him being priced up, not a guy I feel like I have to have. Bielitsa seems too cheap at 5,800, but he's really been kind of struggling lately, hasn't been playing that great, and he might kind of be a risky play on the slate, so another guy I don't feel like I really need on this slate. Not a lot of value I see at small forward if I'm looking to go cheap. There isn't really a lot I love, so I think let's go ahead and move on to power forward and look at this position. I do like some of the top options here. You got Blake Griffin and Julius Randle, both up top at power forward. I do really like Julius Randle here against Detroit. This is a spot where Julius Randle going to be needed to play big minutes. He already plays big minutes if the game's competitive. We're seeing Randle play close to 40 minutes in competitive games, at least as of late. And against a big front court like Andre Drummond and Blake Griffin, you're going to need Randle on the court, so I'm expecting him to play big minutes here. We know when the guy gets minutes, he's going to produce. I think he easily gets 40 DraftKings points today. 40 to 45 I can easily project for Randle. If he gets me that amount at 7,900, that's hidden value. We know Randle has upside for way more than just 5 to 6x. Could easily get 7x. Wouldn't surprise anybody. We've seen Randle put up monster games this year. Really good tournament play. The guy has big upside. 69 DraftKings points against Cleveland on March 11th. That's the kind of upside that Randle has. So I like paying up for him at power forward. Definitely an option I'm looking to go to if I'm paying towards the top of this position. The guys against Phoenix are definitely intriguing. The guys from Boston like Jason Tatum and Al Horford, but they are kind of priced up to 68 and 6,300. I do kind of like Horford's price. I wouldn't say he is as priced up. Tatum's definitely priced up, but Horford at 6,300 against the Suns, you could go to if you wanted to go there. I don't mind him at all. Greg Monroe for a little bit cheaper in the revenge game against his former team. He's been playing really well, even though Monroe hasn't been getting a ton of minutes. He's only been playing about 20 minutes off the bench, but still been great for fantasy. At least 32 DraftKings points in 3 of his last 4 games. With it being a revenge game, maybe Monroe sees like 24, 25 minutes off the bench. If the game blows out, you might see Monroe give a little bit of blowout run, and he could be a really good play at 5,500, especially if you want to go there in tournaments. Monroe does have really big upside when he gets the minutes. But that's really what I like for power forward. I know Marquise Chris, I think he started the other day, put up a big game against the Magic, or it wasn't the Magic, it was against Cleveland. 43 DraftKings points in 35 minutes, but after that against the Magic, he only put up 19 DraftKings points in 24 minutes. I think that's more like what we're going to see from Marquise Chris, him playing about mid-20s in minutes and about 20 to DraftKings points a night. what we can project from him. Obviously, if you get 20 DraftKings points at 3,800, that's not really killing you, but that's definitely not going to burn you if you fade that. So, not really sure how great of a value play he is. I think there is better value on the slate in my opinion. So let's just go ahead and move on to center and look at this position. This is definitely a position loaded with studs today. We got Drummond, Embiid, Towns, Blake Griffin you can play here, Dwight Howard, Jokic, Marc Gasol, all some stud options you can target at center. With Drummond being nearly 10K, it is a great matchup against the Lakers, but I'm not sure I really have to have Drummond today. Embiid, his minutes have been way down lately. He hasn't been playing that great at 9,400. Not a guy I feel like I have to have. Karl-Anthony Towns is in a tough matchup with Marc Gasol. He's 9,300, which isn't a price tag I'm absolutely in love with, especially given the matchup. Dwight Howard's priced up as well to 8,700 against the Knicks. Another guy I don't feel like I have to have. Jokic could definitely be a great tournament play here at 8,600. Even though it's a tough matchup with Embiid, we know the kind of upside Jokic has. When he's priced under 9K, I always like to consider him. So I do like Jokic if you're paying up at center. But the guy that just really sticks out to me, if he does play today, Marc Gasol seems way too cheap at 7,200 against Minnesota. This is a solid matchup. Karl-Anthony Towns is not a good defender. Centers have definitely done well against Minnesota this year. Obviously, this is kind of a risky play because Gasol's been resting here and there. Don't really know if he's going to play today, but if we can confirm before lock, this is an 8 o'clock game, so we should have news on Gasol before lock. If we can confirm he's playing, he's a great play here at 7,200. Usually when Gasol plays, he plays about full minutes if it's a competitive game. And with Tyreke Evans out as well, Gasol is going to pick up a ton of usage here if he's able to go today and if he doesn't wind up resting. So I love him here at 7,200. He's just way too cheap. Should definitely see the minutes if he's in the starting lineup. Should definitely be able to pay off that price tag as well. So I like Marc Gasol if you're paying up at center. I like Jokic as well, but Gasol just really sticks out to me here as a guy that's being too cheap. Then if we're looking for other center plays, Enes Kanter you could go to 6,100 just because he's going to be needed to go up against Dwight Howard. But at 6,100, I'm not sure I'm really in love with him. I'm really kind of scared of taking Knicks right now. Pretty much besides like the young guys like TREY, BURKE, guys like Kanter, Beasley, we don't really know what their minutes are going to be because the Knicks are just tanking. They're looking to give young guys more minutes. So I'm probably going to shy away from Kanter. Brook Lopez seems too cheap at 6K, especially since he's starting to see consistent minutes. But again, I just feel like a guy like Gasol is a guy that I'm really trying to build around for a little bit more. He's really the guy that I like at center. And then obviously if you're looking cheap here, it's Greg Monroe, who I mentioned earlier. You could play this position. But that's really it for center, for the value that I see. And I think that's really it for this video today, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy the vid. Hopefully it helped you. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT, or just leave a comment down below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Make sure you drop a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you click that subscribe button as well. And good luck tonight on this slate, guys. Peace.